I'm not surprised. I think, Disney had been relying on regulatory hurdles to give themselves the edge here. That was the stated reason why Murdoch accepted the Disney offer. And basically, the rug was pulled out from under that with the Time Warner AT&T decision. So they had to come up with a plan B. And I think the only plan B is money. Who is going to pay more? I felt this is going to turn into an old-fashioned bidding war. Now, I think the question then is, who can afford to pay more, Comcast or Disney? Disney has a long track record of paying up for intellectual property. Everybody thought they overpaid for Pixar, they overpaid for Marvel, but those things have paid off for them. They have been very skillful at leveraging fresh intellectual property.
Although those deals were, what, $4 billion, $6 billion? I mean, this is $71 billion. And
right.
Those were also deals that fit right into an existing business. This is trying to incorporate some things they don't do necessarily well now.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. This is a much bigger deal. And those were almost pure intellectual property deals. The goal was to get the creative talent, the brands, the trademarks, the stories that people already knew. This is way more complicated. It involves a lot of production assets which have nothing to do with intellectual property. Now again, going for the Comcast side, Comcast has a history of integrating a very complex media business into the fold when they acquired NBC Universal, and by all measures they've done quite a good job with it. Look how well NBC is doing. So they have a lot of skill there, which is probably going to embolden them. I think this is, and they both have very deep pockets, so this could be quite a war.
Jim, how long can Comcast afford, stock price-wise, to stay at the table here? I mean, Disney's been trading in this range of, 90s to around 110, 115 bucks for a long time. Comcast stock has been down in the low 30s. A lot of people are saying on the speculation that they're going to pay a lot for these assets. Comcast shareholders getting or giving, I guess, some pressure to management that Disney shareholders don't seem to be. Can Comcast afford to stay in a long-term bidding war?
Well, I think they can, partly because their stock is already down quite a bit. I mean, there are two basic differences here that I think it's important to understand. Comcast was a distribution company that has moved into the content creation business. Disney is the opposite. It was a content creation company that is now moving into distribution. They both feel they've got to get the critical mass of creative assets and intellectual property in order to go direct to consumers. They both end up in the same place. But the investors have already punished the distributors, in this case Comcast, and they have not really punished the content creators. And in that sense, it may be that Disney stock has more to lose as the bidding war goes up.
Jim, who has any edge about Murdoch's frame of mind in terms of whether or not he is truly in love with the idea of being in business long-term with Disney or simply getting the best price?
Well, Murdoch has got to be happy that he's got a bidding war going on for his properties. I mean, who wouldn't like that? I do feel Disney has a big advantage in that it has offered an all-stock deal here. That is going to appeal to Murdoch for tax reasons. But the problem is Murdoch has to consider all Fox shareholders, and certainly the board has to consider all Fox shareholders, and most of them are not going to be concerned about the tax consequences. Many of them are institutions. They don't pay any taxes anyway. Many Fox shareholders are big funds where the tax hit is going to be so small for the average shareholder that it really isn't going to amount to much. So he has a different interest here, but it very much would cut in favor of the Disney deal for Murdoch personally.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.